All right, we are back for a second video with Jason, our content creator over at Sports Talk Wisconsin. You're doing a great job over there. It's not your fault that the Packers aren't having the best season, but hey, go and subscribe to his channel. Support the Sports Talk community. And especially, of course, if you're a Packers fan, if you're a Lions fan, we understand. You don't need to. It's okay. But you can. Jason, thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for the intro, man. And yes, it has been a rough season for the Packers, and I've put my resume in to be their coach. They just, they haven't responded.
That's totally understandable. I think though where they really need you, and I know you have some coaching experience. Like I understand that. Not in the NFL, just to be clear, or collegiately.
You may recognize me.
You may recognize me on the sidelines at Spring Lake.
Right.
But West Side. But here's what I will say. I think you need to put in for the GM. I think GM is where it starts.
Brian Gutekunst has got to go. Jason
Nobody knows how to say that name.
Gutekunst. It's bad. Yeah, it's a tough
Gutekunst. You should just start calling him "Gotta go."
Yeah, every Packer fan is pretty much saying that.
I know that's hard. That's hard. So here's what we're going to talk about today. I want to talk about how the Green Bay Packers are in a world of hurt. And when I say that, I don't mean because they're playing the Lions. I mean because legitimately, I feel like every one of their players is hurt. I am just going to share here real quick with everybody watching. This is the Green Bay Packers injury report. Have you ever seen an injury report this long before? Just please feel free to comment.
Unfortunately, we're getting used to seeing that as Packer fans. We pull up our injury report and we're like, yeah, okay, that's great.
Yep, there you go. Okay, so yes, you have seen one this long. Yeah. Here's the deal. A lot of our listeners, a lot of our viewers aren't going to be sitting here watching the Packers every single week. In full transparency, I don't watch the Packers every single week. All right. We're Lions fans by trade, and we are very happy about it. But there's a couple players where I feel like Corey Ballentine, he's going to be good to go. What are you hearing on Jaire Alexander? Like, what does that look like? That's a big piece.
Dude, Jaire has been so frustrating because it's his back, right? This is this lingering back issue that every time we think he's ready to go, he's not, right?
He's just not.
Nobody knows. I wish I had the answer to that. I wish Jaire were saying, hey, listen, get ready, Lions fans, because he's going to be out on the field. But I don't know if he rushed himself back, but he looked really bad the day that he came back. And I forget which game it was because it's been very limited and it was a while ago. He looked really bad. Honestly,
he looked bad. Yeah.
Our 7th round pick, Corey Ballentine, has looked amazing. So Corey Ballentine is looking super good. He's filling in very dicey. I'm not saying, oh yeah, good luck. We don't need Jaire, but yeah, anyways.
Yeah. So let's move to the position that is the most decimated. And then I have a couple questions about a couple other guys and how important they are. You have two positions that quite honestly are decimated. But the first one is running back. I know I talked to you. You said you think Aaron Jones is done for the year, possibly. But that was right away. That was your initial reaction. So talk to me. Is Aaron Jones out? Is A.J. Dillon going to be able to play? And how much trouble is this running back room in right now on a short week?
On a short week, they're in a lot of trouble. But yes, the initial, based off of like the tears from Aaron Jones and all of that, I thought he was done. I was like, okay, a guy knows his body. He's done. He ended up spraining his MCL. So, they say it's just a shorter term injury, but we all know as a running back, sprained MCL. I've had a sprained MCL just recently. Dude, they're not fun, man.
That takes a minute.
It does take a minute. So I'm thinking
scary.
It would be at least 3 weeks for him, if not 4 weeks. So that's the majority of the season. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah. And then A.J. Dillon, I hear the groin, like that's something that you can easily tweak, that soft tissue type stuff. Yeah. I don't know what's going on there, but you can let me know, but I know they obviously felt a little bit worried about it because they went out and they got James Robinson, they signed him to the practice squad, and they signed Patrick Taylor. What can you tell us about these guys? And will they be getting any run against the Lions in just one day?
Yeah, so here's where we're at. Emmanuel Wilson is our next man up, and he had the shoulder injury, and I think he was on that list too. But it was probably just you had to scroll further down.
No, he is. He's on
Okay,
there. He's got two did not practices. The Wednesday report's
yeah.
not out. So
So
he's got two did not practices.
he's actually the guy that booted he booted Patrick Taylor out of the 53 man roster because
Okay.
Emmanuel Wilson made the team. Patrick Taylor was one of those guys we kept bringing up from the practice squad to where we it would just exhausted all of those times that we could do that. We drop him. And then it's like, oh my gosh, we really need Patrick Taylor.
Yeah.
AJ Dillon he'll be our main back.
He'll be the
That's
workhorse.
just
Workhorse. He'll be the bell cow.
he is, but he doesn't do well in that role, right? So as Lions fans,
That's so interesting to hear you say that because I thought AJ Dillon was better when he got 20 carries a game. Like I thought he had the ability to kind of groove into the game, to kind of get his feet under him and kind of catch his bearings. But you're telling me the opposite?
yeah, he is not that guy. Unfortunately, he's a great
Oh
change of
man.
pace back. And if you need him on a third and short or whatever, he's fantastic. But what he has done over the last couple of weeks with his hands, he looks very good. Just as like
Oh,
that safety net,
okay.
check down, your fourth check down, you're throwing it to Dylan. But Patrick Taylor will be, he knows the system, he knows the offense,
Okay.
he will be ready to go. Patrick Taylor, James Robinson is more one of those safety nets. Hey, let's bring him up to the practice squad.
For sure.
The dude just hasn't looked the same since his Achilles injury, and he just isn't.
Agreed.
Yeah, but we know that he's already proved that he can do it. So
Yeah.
if heaven forbid anything happens to any of their other running backs, James Robinson would be the guy to, the next man up, further down the list though.
Okay. So okay. So now that at least it's a player that has familiar with the system. He may not be the most talented of running backs, but he's familiar with the system. He's not going to screw things up. Is what you're saying. Because at first I was like, this feels desperate. And I don't mean it in a mean way. I just mean it as like our best two running backs are hurt. Like that's hard. All right, dude, you're also busted up at tight end and wide receiver. Like, who's going to play? What's going to happen is, I mean, it looks like Wicks is going to be out. You don't come back from a concussion that fast.
That quickly, no, and yeah, that's too bad to be for us Packer
He's
fans.
starting to come into his own.
He's been a favorite target of Jordan Love's for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I think we drafted him in the 5th round. Dontavian Wicks, he's proved that he can do it, and he's a reliable target for Jordan Love. But yeah, obviously they're going to be probably without that guy. But everybody else is expected to be out there.
Okay, so they're expecting Jaden Reed to be out there. They're expecting Christian Watson to be out there, is what you're saying.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. And those, that's a chest and a shoulder. So that's avoid big hits, but they should be able to run the routes fully at 100%. Like that shouldn't mess with them getting separation, things
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
Tight end, like, man, oh man, Luke Musgrave is so talented. I don't know. Like, I just feel like he is so talented, but he seems to be struggling with the same thing he struggled with in college, which is staying on the field.
Yep. He's been out there. Yeah, you're right, man, because he sometimes feels like a porcelain doll.
Yeah.
But he isn't a Laporta like what you guys got. He is
Yeah.
super talented. But he certainly doesn't bring it like Laporta does. I was wrong early on, but he's got so much talent. He creates a lot of separation.
Yeah.
That
Well,
that is
if
a
he can
dude.
stay healthy, I think he's a massive weapon for you guys going forward.
Yeah,
I really do.
he's honestly he's like an 80-yard type touchdown guy. I mean
Yeah.
80-yard receiving every game pretty much type
Got it.
guy.
Got it. Yeah, he's that tight end that you can put there and he can stretch the field vertically from the tight end position, which entirely changes the look of an offense in a
Does, yeah.
very, very helpful way. So I don't think he's going to be playing in this game. And if he is, he's definitely not going to be. I don't know if it says abdomen. I don't know if it's an oblique or what, but I'm going to be honest. I hope he doesn't play because I think he changes the way the offense looks.
He does.
He really
Our
does.
next man up is Tucker Kraft. He's another rookie. Of course, anytime you're
Yeah.
talking Packer plays, you're like sophomore, rookie, like
I know. That's
Tucker Kraft
hilarious.
is good. He's
Yeah.
pretty solid. He's not he's not a threat like Musgrave is, but he's good.
Yeah, he's just a solid player. He's
Yeah.
just a solid tight end who's going to do his job. So you got a lot of those. So we'll see what happens. I think the offense might struggle, to be honest with you, against the Lions. And it's not just because we have a good defense, which our defense has been. Our defense, I'm telling you, Jason, it's like the have or the have not. We've been talking about it on this channel. Either Aaron Glenn has your number, right? You saw it. We were the beginning of the first half domination of the Green Bay Packers, which we thought was our defense playing great. Turns out that's just what they do. They don't score in the first half, but like either we have the number of the defense Aaron Glenn does, or you're putting 40 on us. That's just the way it's gonna go. Let me just say, I truly hope that he has this offense figured out.
I think he does. But
I think he does, based on the last few, based on the games they've played. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. But especially with our injuries, like you're saying, I mean, being down a guy like Aaron Jones, man, that's going to affect anybody. Unfortunately, we've had to get used to it, so maybe it won't be as big of a blow to us currently, because it's like, okay, we know that, we've seen that before.
Yeah, sometimes it's nice too not to be like, oh, is he going to be out there for 5 plays? Is he going to be out there for 20 plays? No, he's just not there. Let's move on. Let's game plan without him. Sometimes that can be nice. Not with Aaron Jones necessarily. Dude's talented, but we've seen it with running backs in the NFL.
Yep.
As you get older, you get hurt. So, hey, man, I appreciate you. Thanks for talking. I know this was a lot of chat about how banged up your team is, and I appreciate you hanging in there, being a good sport with it. There's nothing you can do about it. Injuries happen.
For sure. No, go Pack.
Yeah, absolutely. Go Lions. Thanks for saying go Lions. I appreciate that. And look, we'll still be friends after the game, but man, oh man, I do not want to see your face if this doesn't go our way. I just want to make sure you know that. And I really hope the Lions win so I can send you a very fast picture of my beautiful face giving you one of these.
Fantastic.
All right. Sounds good, dude. See you later.
Thanks, man.